when I ask you guys about the passage of time, what thoughts or feelings come up?
Ooh, a hard-hitting question.
Yeah, well, a big one I've been working with lately is David Foster Wallace has this line of, if you were addicted to your beauty, like you're gonna die a million deaths as you grow older. And feeling that pain as I see the age in my face, my addiction to my vanity has been really big. And I'm 28, so I'm still on the youth end of the spectrum, but I'm already feeling those deaths daily.
You've noticed changes?
Oh yeah.
In your body.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's my first time seeing you, but you look pretty immaculate. So I have no basis for comparison, but okay. And then Emma, do you have any thoughts on that? Or?
Yeah, well, I actually also think about David Foster Wallace a lot because I think about like the many different timelines that we live in our lives. Like we're living in the normal time, like the second by second, minute by minute accumulation of years, but we're also living in so many different times. When we read a book that was written in an ancient time, we are experiencing that timeline within our own like present life, present mind. When we're reading like some sort of sci-fi book that's set in the future, we're also experiencing the passage of time way off into the future, into this sort of like imaginative world. So I often think about the way that like my life is intersected by so many different types of time, like the imaginative time, the time of the past, the time of my grandparents' lives, etc.
How does that make you feel?
Just connected to the world and connected to my family, but also connected to like my imaginative spirit. Like I love reading something where the author is long dead, and I'm taking part in their imagination and their story, and I'm imprinting upon it like my own vision of what that is based on the 28 years of life that I've lived. So it just makes me feel connected to, like, there's many strings and threads of time, and interacting with art and culture, you can sort of like pluck out that string and weave it into your own timeline.
Do you feel like your ability to do that over time as you've gotten older has strengthened or suffered?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think it's strengthened, and I think I'm certainly more open to different types of art than I was when I was young. I think when I was young, I had a very like more so rigid sense of what I thought my taste was. And with age, it's just grown and developed, and I'm no longer so rigid.
Right. So it's opened up the timelines that you can access.
Yeah.
I don't have a David Foster Wallace quote, but I feel like that's the prerequisite to this party. Does the dog have a David Foster Wallace quote?
Ooh,
No?
great
Joy?
question.
Nothing?
Joy?
There's a book of essays on the lobster, but I haven't read it.
Indeed. So, do you guys have a favorite childhood memory?
Well, I have my first memory.
What's that? Oh, that's a good question. I'll keep that in mind, yeah.
I was young, and it was raining, and it was gray outside. I grew up in Los Angeles, so this is fairly unique. And there was a window that looked out onto the street, and my dad was getting into his car in the rain.
How old were you?
Probably like 3-ish, 4-ish, maybe. And my dad is a very large man. He's like 6'5", and he was folding himself into the car. I mean, he was getting into the car, but to me, it seemed like he was folding himself in.
Right.
And it was raining, and I was looking at the drops of water on the outside of the window, and they were like superimposed in front of his body.
Whoa. So what do you think about it about that moment was so salient and stuck with you?
I guess it was like realizing that, I mean, looking back, what I think triggered it is like realizing that my dad had a life outside of me, I guess.
Oh,
like
it's
he's like
dad's
getting into his car and going off to work. Like
Right.
he's like living this different life, maybe.
And up to then, it was just you in relation to him, as
Yeah.
opposed to him bifurcating out into something
Right.
else.
Yeah.
And maybe the rain too.
Yeah.
Because
That was
it's so-
unique. Yeah.
It was like the two things together
Yeah.
pinched that, huh?
Yeah.
And for you, Ben, do you have a first memory or a childhood memory that you go back to?
I don't really have many memories in general, so I'm gonna give a memory from 16, which feels like childhood to me.
Yeah.
Which was, I had a dream of a woman I had a crush on at the time, and I never kissed or had a girlfriend at the time, and I remember waking up and feeling it was the first time I was ever really happy. Wow. That this constant anxiety that plagues me went away. And I really think a lot of my obsession and quest with the divine feminine, the goddess, and understanding the dynamic between me and women can be traced to that. That it is a way of me exploring spirituality, but also a way of mental health as well. And that's all wrapped in together.
Interesting. So it left an impression on you.
Huge impression.
Whoa. And that was a dream, or
That was a dream.
So it was a memory of a dream.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you remember your dreams now, or
I journaled, like I voice journaled them, so I have them all on my phone.
as soon as you wake up?
As soon as I wake up,
Otherwise,
they're gone. Yeah.
wow. Do you have that, a dream journal?
No.
Would you ever?
I don't remember my dreams.
No.
No.
Do you notice
Never.
that your recall is better though as you
It does help.
practice that?
Yeah. But I
okay.
still have to look like now to see just even what the title is. So like today was abandonment from, let's see, what was I abandoned from? Wow, phones are hard to use. From tribe, abandonment from
Ooh.
tribe.
Damn.
Yesterday,
Abandonment from tribe?
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Do you know what that means?
That's heavy.
Let's find out.
I had another dream where I was on stage with some big musicians mostly all the time, and then Jesse Wells, and then somebody sort of stormed the stage next to me, and there's a few of them. I was like, fuck it, I'll run across the stage too, why not? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I get back, and the group I'm with gets really mad at me, and they're trying to control me, and I'm having none of it. And
I like this lucky.
it hits this old feeling of trauma of being abandoned by the group when they go into authoritarian mode because my emotions are too much for them to handle. Then I start crying, and I'm so grateful I can feel. It just makes me sad, and it was a great demonstration of abandonment from the tribe wound to really feel it so I can heal it. I love you, Ben.
Whoa.
Wow.
Dang. I'm looking forward to re-listening to that later. It's kind of distant, but I got the mic feed now. Okay, 2 more questions for you guys.
Yeah.
Has life gone how you expected it would?
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. So far
Damn.
from it.
Anything gone how you expected it would?
Almost nothing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that, respectively?
I actually do. I think some of my life has gone the way that I expected it to go. Or like small things. Small things. Like I believe that I work really hard at my job, and I have had success in my career. And I always believed that I would do that. Like I always was like, you gotta work really hard. So I think
You always believed you'd do what you're doing, or that you would do something successfully?
that I always believed that I would do something successfely and that my work would be successful.
And is it because you had an internal sense of your resourcefulness, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think it's like a self-belief that I can do good work.
And do you know where you got that from?
No.
It's there.
I think it's mostly actually like more of a perfectionism thing
Oh.
than anything.
Okay.
When I'm like, I'll just be perfect and it will go right.
So perfectionism that paid off.
Kinda,
Like
I guess. I don't know.
poster child.
I mean, not really, because it's like sort of like shriveling up my soul and insides. But I'm like, if I can be perfect, it's fine.
Oh, okay. So is there any inclination to pivot to a different strategy as time has passed?
Definitely.
And how would you describe that if you're comfortable sharing?
I guess I guess it's more like questioning the original belief that like perfect work equals good. And without sort of realizing like the other things that come along with that, like obsession or having your work sort of eat into your personal life or like the way that you value yourself. So I'm sort of now trying to untangle, like if I make a mistake at work, how to not feel like I'm just a terrible person and, you know, whatever, like how to kind of keep it like, oh, you just copy and pasted one thing wrong. It doesn't mean you're a terrible person.
Just keeping it in perspective of the granularity of what you're doing as opposed to making it a self-concept
Right.
implication.
Exactly.
That was super convoluted way of saying it. But
No, that was exactly right.
Okay, cool. And my last question for you guys is, in the interest of time, is there something you guys did when you were younger that you enjoyed doing, that you stopped doing, and could still do?
Oh.
Couple of different things. One is seeing images in my eyes before I go to bed. I can see little visualizations. I'm not a very visual person, but when I'm tired and I close my eyes, I can see visuals. They become very strong on psychedelics, but they're very weak, like 280p, 180p, or whatever that is on sober. But they're interesting to watch, and I struggle with sleep, and I take drugs to sleep, and I wonder if that will be one cure of not having to take drugs, is following the images. So that's one thing. Another's climbing trees. That was actually something that only started in college, but stopped after college. So it is my youth.
If you started it sooner, you wouldn't remember.
Exactly.
True, right.
Good memory.
Right.
Exactly.
At least one of us. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, you started in college and then
And then I stopped after. I hurt my shoulder in 2019, and I stopped and
climbing a tree, or
trying to save a tree, actually.
really?
Yeah, I got. I don't know if I was lied to. I think everyone expected that this was not possible, and I was a little bit gullible. There was a tree that had fallen over, and one of my friends said, "Let's all push the tree up to try to save it so it can live." And I pushed with all my heart. No one else really pushed that hard. I fucked up my shoulder.
Worst practical joke ever.
Exactly.
Dang.
That's sad.
And you haven't climbed a tree since.
Not really, or maybe one, but not really with that fluidity and that constantness that I was
Your
doing in
relationship
college.
with trees took a hit in that moment,
Exactly.
and maybe we need to reacquaint you with this.
Oh
Yeah, maybe you need to
Yeah,
climb
exactly.
right now.
We can do it.
How would you feel to start climbing trees again?
It is a very primal feeling. It connects me with my monkey ancestry, which I like.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you? Did anything come to mind?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to draw and paint a lot, and I do not do any of that as an adult.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I had a weird feeling you're going to say that.
Oh.
Because you talked about the perfectionism, and I instantly thought the antidote to perfectionism is art.
Well, yeah. I think,
you can't be perfect
sure.
at art.
You can't, that's true.
Oh, I know a lot of artist friends who try.
I think it's true and false. I think that I fear that what I might produce will not live up to my taste and what I believe good art to be,
Right.
which is not really a standard you should hold for yourself if you're like doodling.
An impossible standard.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But I have been thinking about taking a oil painting class at SVA. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do that this summer and try to learn how to oil paint.
And do you think you could enjoy the process of not living up to your taste?
I hope. I hope.
See.
Yeah, I'm curious about oil painting is like an accumulative and sort of subtractive practice. And you like build up the paint over time and you prime the canvas, and there's like many steps. As far as I understand, I've never done it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in like uncovering the tactile practice of that. And I don't know what the result will be.
Right. But you have a good grasp of the theoretical and practical aspects that go into it. Now you just have to do it.
I think so, and I want to learn more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys.
It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure
thank
chatting
you,
with you,
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Thank you. Okay.